Hello Pisces, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Now this is a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to be watching this, it is meant for you, okay? Please hit the like button, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. Okay? And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here's a 7 of Swords. Let's put that into some context. All right, it feels like there is a little bit of, wow, that is something else. I was going to say there's a little bit of a communication blockage, okay? But really, if you look at the overhead here, we see this fire sign, this wands, this Princess of Wands, covering the 7 of Swords, surrounded by major arcana on every side, okay? So I feel like you are being protected by these divine forces, so many of these very, very awesome divine forces. And there is something that is trying to get to you, something that's trying to penetrate into your soul, but you're being protected from it. Okay? You're under divine protection right now. And I'd like to take this opportunity to also say that if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay? This is something very special. We're going to do the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. And there's that tower energy too. So there is some evil that is trying to get into your life, but you're being protected from it. Okay? And this to me seems very, very auspicious. I don't think I've ever seen a reading or a spread quite like this. Okay? With this central figure being this 7 of Swords, it's like there are these other forces trying to penetrate, trying to get in, but you're being protected. Okay? Let's do the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use Rider-Waite-Smith for this one. And this is the card we're not going to look at until the very end. So I do hope you'll stick around. And hopefully that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end. All right. So we've got all of these major arcana and then another major on this side. We've got the 7 of Swords and that Princess of Wands. Then we've got water, the major, and we've got a couple more court cards. So I think that you're kind of being... you're kind of the recipient of maybe some kind of gossip, maybe some kind of misinformation, some kind of a campaign against you, right? Now, I don't know if this is in the workplace. I don't know if this is something in the home, but I feel like there are forces that are, again, trying to, we're going to go straight to the 7 of Swords. There are forces that are trying to get in, to get at you, right? And you are, in this case, you are that central sword. You're holding the sword. You're gripping firm the truth, right? The reality as you understand it, as you've been informed. Your resolve is strong, okay? Your commitment to this central sword, you have a very tight grip on this central sword. There are these other forces, these, we can call them evil forces, are trying to chip away at you, trying to poke at you, trying to penetrate, trying to get you to drop this central sword. Now, I don't know if this is some kind of truth, if there's some kind of a whistleblower situation, if there's some kind of truth, some information that you are certain of, that you have evidence of, that other people are trying to get you to drop it, right? There are these little swords. They're trying to poke at you so that you lose your grip on this Ace of Swords. But you're not losing your grip. You are protected by these divine forces, okay? Now, I don't know. First, I think you're someone who is a believer in truth, right? You're a believer in almost injustice, really. I think that you really have this sense of justice and fairness about you, where you almost feel it's your duty now to hold this sword, to carry this sword, maybe to fight for people who can't fight for themselves, right? Something like that. I feel like you are a very strong person in that way. Mentally strong, morally strong. This is some air energy. This is a real conviction that you're doing the right thing, no matter what the odds are, no matter what other forces are trying to get you to drop it, right? Literally drop the whole subject, but to drop that metaphorical sword, right? I don't think you are going to drop it. It might in some way involve this younger feminine energy fire sign person. I don't know if this is actually a fire sign person. It could be that this card is representing the figurehead of whatever the opposition is, whatever you're up against here, okay? Whatever you're being protected from by this divine energy is being represented by this Princess of Wands. Now, the Princess of Wands, this is someone or some element, some entity, some force that is trying to cause chaos and disruption, has no rational plan, has no objective really other than chaos, other than starting as many fires as they can, right? In an attempt to get you to drop that sword, right? So this could be really the evil forces, putting just various calamities in your way, various obstacles, right? It could be anything. To try to get you to focus on something else, to drop that central sword. So this is like, little fires. This is maybe your car breaks down, or you get into an argument somewhere else, or just whatever there is, other emergencies going on in your life, other responsibilities, things just popping up out of the blue. It seems like the tighter your grip on this sword, the more other problems arise in other areas of your life. And I think that's the evil one. Trying to get you to drop that sword, trying to see what it will take for you to let go of this. Whatever this commitment is, whatever this knowledge or information, whatever this truth and justice is for you. And I don't know what it is. I don't know that I want to know. But I want you to know, and I think Spirit wants you to know, that you're under divine protection. We have these major arcana cards here. Now, this could be an actual person that is just everywhere you turn, everywhere you go, everywhere you look, they're causing these little problems everywhere, just starting mischief, just giving you more things to do, to take care of, right? Little calamities, little inconveniences everywhere. And I think the tighter your grip on this sword, the more of these will pop up. Okay. Little kind of minions almost, But you're under this divine protection. Now, what to even go to first? Let's go to the recent past with this star energy. I think that this is kind of indicating the beginning of this whole situation for you. I think you have been called. I think that you received a message or an inspiration or an epiphany. You had a divine experience. You had a religious moment, a holy moment. And I think you were called to this work in some way. Okay? Maybe through a dream, maybe through a meditative experience, a religious experience, maybe just through some synchronicities, maybe through a literal message came from somewhere, right? But I think it was, it felt like it was a divine calling, It felt like this is something that you're supposed to do. This is your purpose right now, right? And it felt like that. It felt like it was coming straight from the divine, like it was the heavens opened and this light came directly to you. Okay? And I think that was the experience. I think that's what set off this entire thing for you. Now, at the top, we see this moon energy. Now, I think the moon energy is talking about dreams or about unconscious communiques. I think that it may be through dreams or through meditative states that you are continuing to download information about this. Okay? You're continuing to receive that spiritual light. I think it's coming in the forms of pictures, colors and symbols and stuff in your imagination, in your dream world. Okay? I think some good homework for you right now, for the next few days or a couple weeks, is to try to write down every dream that you have. I think you wake up with some sort of data or information from your dream. Maybe you don't remember the dreams, but you remember the message, or you remember kind of what the instructions were, right? I think that you would do well to write down the details of the dream, not your interpretation of them, not the message. Write down the images that you see, anything that you remember, the colors, the sights, sounds, smells, any of the symbols from your dream. Write those down as soon as you wake up. I think that will maybe allow this message from the divine to become a little bit clearer for you. Okay? Because what we do see in the immediate future here is this Mercury energy. This is the clarity of the message, right? This is the message from the divine. This is the divine heavenly influence coming into your life, being filtered through your dreams. But it's up to you with this Mercury energy. It's up to you to translate, to clarify, to tune in properly so that you understand the message, right, in the best way possible. And I think this is kind of part of your work now, is to try to decipher this and understand exactly what's going on and what your role in all of this is. Okay? Now, underneath everything, we see this lust or strength card. I think the focus now is on strength. This is not going to be easy. You have this divine mission. It is a difficult one. It's going to require your bravery, your commitment, your strength, your energy, and your passion. It's something that I think is divinely inspired. More than inspired, I think it is literally informed by Spirit. But it is coming through you, and it's going to be quite taxing on you physically, mentally, emotionally. So you have to be strong. You have to make sure that you fortify yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, so that you can handle the influx of this divine energy. Okay? Now, I do think that with all of these components put together into this kind of divine force field, I feel like you are destined to succeed, right? I think you're very, very likely to succeed if you can especially activate these 4 divine components to this kind of force field, this kind of divine, sphere that's around you. I think you are being protected. It doesn't mean that you don't have work to do. Okay? A lot of this is your responsibility to interpret and to act appropriately. And that leads us over here, the path of the serpent. First thing we see is the 10 of Cups. This is both the absolutely exhausting work, the exhausting nature of this, whatever this thing is, whatever this work is, whatever this divine kind of mission that you're on. It is overwhelming you. It is this kind of divine water that is flooding your life now. And that's why you have to be strong in order to handle this. This is also talking about the intense satisfaction that you will get, the intense rewards and the joy that you'll experience as you fulfill your divine purpose. Okay? Now, this is also the another way that this evil one, this evil entity, whatever the forces are that are opposing you, okay? It's how they're going to try to overwhelm you with minutia, with these small calamities, these annoyances everywhere. They're trying to flood your life with nonsense, with disinformation, with superfluous data and impressions and things coming in through your senses, right? They're trying to overwhelm you and give you so much, a flood of just nonsense, really, just flooding with noise into the system so that you can't decipher the message, right? It's just too much static that we can't really get the clarity that we're looking for with this. But you're protected by Mercury, by the divine word, right? And the divine word, if we can filter out some of this nonsense, we can hear the word. And Mercury is that word. The Magus, the magician, is that word. And that's what we're trying to hear. And that is how we are going to accomplish this goal, how we're going to reach this goal, right? Now, in the environment, there is this tower energy. So these forces that are against you, whatever is being represented by this Princess of Wands, is trying to really destroy the mission that you're on, is trying to really thwart your efforts, trying to get you to not only drop that sword, but to break the sword, shatter it into a million pieces so it can't be restored, right? That energy, that entity really wants to bring this whole thing down because it's a threat to that energy, okay? So in your environment, there's going to be, I think, a lot of temptation for you to give up, I think everywhere you go, it's going to look like the grass is a lot greener than where you're standing, okay? And that's an illusion. That's an illusion. That's trying to keep you, that's trying to get you to drop the sword, be lured away, be seduced by how beautiful it looks over there, so that you don't need to continue on your mission. It's like in the Greek myth, there's the Song of the Sirens, right? And Jason and the Argonauts, well, they hear the song, they're lured away. They forgot all about their journey, right? They forget all about it. They end up on the island and it feels fine. We have to kind of stop up our ears, right? So that we're not lured away by that. Because it is destruction and chaos and a lot of this fire and a lot of this pain and anguish on the other side of that. And we may feel like Jason and the Argonauts, right? We hear that sweet song and we land on the island. We think we're living our best life. But if we came to our senses, so to speak, came to our divine senses, we would realize that we are in a land of chaos and confusion and destruction and decay. All right? So we can't be tempted away from this kind of holy mission that you're on. Now, I usually don't do readings that are of this nature. This is a special one for you, Pisces. This is unlike the usual readings that I do on this channel. Okay? And I hope that you'll understand that I'm not just that I'm interpreting the energy as I feel it, okay? And that's why if this seems like it's a huge departure from my usual readings, this is the energy that's coming through, okay? And I feel that it's my duty to express that as accurately as I can. Now, these cards are never wrong, right? But sometimes as the interpreter, I might not know exactly how to associate each of these images to your situation. And that's why I need you to use your intuition, connect directly with these images and with these energies, and apply them to your life as they fit in, Okay. Now, the next two cards we have are court cards. We see a Knight of Discs, a Knight of Cups. And I think that these may be representing some allies. Okay. I think mostly it's this Knight of Cups that is the ally for you. There might be a water sign person in your life that could be your partner, your best friend. It could be a stranger, someone that you've yet to meet. But they're going to have this watery nature to them. They're going to be very sensitive. They're going to seem like they know things that they maybe shouldn't know. They're going to have a certain essence about them that you will recognize. Okay? They may be trying to offer you something. And I think in this case, it would be wise to accept it, because I think that they are, like I said, they are an ally to you. Okay? They may turn out to be a water sign. So, they may be a Cancer or a Scorpio or even a Pisces. And I feel like they may have an M for their first or last initial. And I do feel like they're going to be giving you something. It may be just something meaningless, like a stick of gum or something. You know what I mean? But that's, I think, one sign that you'll know them. And it may be a random thing where they will just say, here, would you like this? It could be a pencil, or it could be a flower. I don't know. It could be a candy. I don't know. They may be a water sign, but I think they're going to be very important to this work. Okay? And they're going to have this kind of calm, reflective, almost kind of an intuitive knowing, almost like they have a little bit of a smile on their face because they kind of know something. So it's almost like a wink and a nod kind of thing, but maybe a little more subtle than that. What we didn't talk about yet is the Knight of Discs in the position of your fears, worries, and concerns. Now, I think that this might be an earth sign person, but I think this is representing how do I put this? The withdrawing of your concern for the physical world, right? This is almost like there's some loss of interest in your work, your career, loss of interest in your physical well-being. And this is very important not to let this happen. Because again, we need this strength that's here, okay? And in order to have this strength and to activate this strength, major arcana, divine energy, you have to take care of your physical well-being. You have to take care of your physical environment, your finances, your home, your family, whatever. You have to support the physical world as a foundation for the divine world, right? The earth, or the heavens rest upon the earth just as much as the earth rests and relies upon the heavens, okay? And I think that's what this card is here for, to remind you that it may seem dull, it may seem unexciting, but it's absolutely crucial to this work to maintain these the physical structures that we are involved in, right? Our physical structure of our body, and the home, our employment, our job, our responsibilities, basically, right? Let's go to the mystery card now. Very curious what this is going to be. I don't have a speculation. I don't want to interject any of my own biases into this reading as much as possible to keep myself out of it. We're just going to reveal this and see what we've got. Okay, we've got a seven of discs. This is really focused again on this earth energy. And I think that this may be talking about, look, the main part of this work, this mission right now, is for you to decipher and decode the message, right? Get a clear understanding of what the message is, what your mission is, and focus on strengthening your physical environment, your physical body, your work, your career, your finances, your family, all of that kind of stuff. really shore up your physical life, because you're going to need that strength and that stability as your foundation for this mission, this work that you're on, that you're involved with. Okay? And with the 7 of discs, that really seems like a lot of tedious, boring work, and then we're just going to be sitting there waiting for the plants to grow, right? Like this figure. Well, we've done all of this work, and now it's just like, okay, let's hurry up and grow now, you know? So it seems kind of tedious, seems kind of dull. It seems like there should be a bigger, something more exciting, right, to do. But this is very crucial. And I think this is an indication for us to slow down, to not get ahead of ourselves, to focus on the tasks that we need to accomplish right now, which is activating all of this divine energy, activating our spiritual force field, our divine sphere that's around us, and really doing the dream work, really decoding the message, trying to hear the word as accurately as possible, and strengthening our position so that we can be ready. Okay. So the 7 of discs here is kind of the work that needs to be done now, slow and steady. May seem a little boring and a little tedious, but it's absolutely necessary. And it's so important right now. We're going to go ahead and do an extended. If you'd like to stick around for that, and I think you should, please click on the link that's right here, and you can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your timeless reading on Dove and Serpent Tarot. And that means that whenever you're watching this, you are meant to see it right now. Okay? Thank you so much for letting me read for you.